What's up and welcome back. I'm John Starr from MyMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to talk about Nonas. It's a Netflix original, so you can stream it on Netflix in case you were wondering, what is this? It's a Vince Vaughn movie, and it also has Joe Manganiello, Susan Sarandon, Lorraine Bracco, Talia Shire, Drea de Matteo, uh, just several actresses that all should still be getting work outside of this film. Campbell Scott's in this too. Um, and it's actually rated PG. So it's like not offensive. It's not trying to do or be or say anything. It just wants to be about Nonas. So click like and subscribe so we can talk about Nonas. It does have audio description from International Digital Center. It's written by Liz Gutman and narrated by Nicholas, and I wish I remembered his last name, but I did not. And the audio description is fine. I mean, it's actually a really well-described comedy from the angle. He's got a really sort of nice, bright, cheerful voice that matches most of the tone of the film. It does kind of have like a little bit of a somber beat to it at the beginning, where we got to figure out a way how to, not sound like a funeral is the happiest place on earth. But there's that. But the film starts sort of like in flashback mode in Italy with a little Vince Vaughn, whatever his character's name was. I don't know. He is enjoying watching, his mom and his nonas, all the grandmothers of Italy getting together to. Everything is based around food in Italy and cooking and family and getting together around a table and all of those things. And a big celebratory scene, which I wonder if they actually shot in Italy. That would be amazing. If they actually spent money to shoot something internationally for this movie, or if they found like a set somewhere and pretend it was Italy. Then flash forward to and this was a Mother's Day movie. His mother's dead. Like present day, we cut to his mother's funeral, and he's just sitting there looking really sad, and people just keep coming up to him and they're like, "Oh, your mother was great." So why is this a Mother's Day movie? Is this a this is a Mother's Day movie for a very specific set of people who don't like to celebrate Mother's Day anymore because they don't have mothers. And it's like such an odd choice. And I know it's because you picked Vince Vaughn. I know it's because Vince Vaughn is leading this film. I get it. Like, I see that. And he's too old to do the other thing, which is to make it about his grandmother. And then, because that's what it should be. The movie's about Nonas. He goes out and gets Nonas together, not mothers, not people who could be his mom, but he specifically seeks out grandmothers. Now, technically, because Vince Vaughn is now old, his mom would have been a Nona age. So these are all women in his mom's age range. But I don't know. He specifically needs them to be grandmothers, but it's his mother that passed. It's weird. It's like acknowledging the fact that he never got married and had kids. Like there's no tree branch coming down out of that side of the family. So he gets money from her death and decides to use it instead of paying off his debts to open a restaurant, much to the chagrin of his best friend, played by Joe Manganiello. And his idea is he's got this space and he wants to kind of turn it so there's like an open air kitchen and people come in and they feel like the family, and it's this great Italian kitchen, and the people who are doing the actual cooking are the Italian grandmothers. So he searches for grandmothers to work in the kitchen, not actual restaurant staff, but actual the grandmothers, which puts some people at odds with his restaurant because they're like, I think he's just taking advantage of our grandmothers. But you see that the grandmothers, one of the cute things about the movie and why the movie works is because when the grandmothers do come in, they have this nice chemistry together and they really enjoy working here. They really enjoy being useful and not just, I don't know, living out their final days, just waiting. So somebody like wants them, and what they want them for is this one thing that they know that they're good at, and then they're making food. And they're at first there's all these funny clashes because all these Italian grandmothers are all from different areas of Italy that don't get along. So you'll see like a Sicilian grandmother getting in a fight with somebody from Bologna. It's just that is that kind of thing. But Susan Sarandon's character, um, she's got sort of an interesting hook to her too as well, and is really appreciative of the friend group that she ends up coming in and being a part of Nonas. But ultimately, it's like the Italian community has blacklisted this restaurant because they think he's not part of the community, but he is obviously part of the community. He do grew up in Italy. He's just not part of like that neighborhood. It's so weird. It's very like cliquish. And then there's this whole thing about using the grandmothers. And then he can't get a single like food critic. And he's just like struggling. He's like, what do I do? And Joe Manganiello is just there the whole time, just plugging away. Joe helps the plot because Joe happens to be a contractor, which gives Vince low-cost labor. In the beginning, he's like, I'll pay you afterwards. He needed a friend that had that too. And he picks up, there are other people along the way too that he picks up. Tammy Pescatelli, I swear was on Last Comic Standing, and she's in this. I don't think I'm crazy. I think she was the last comic standing from way back in the day. I heard that name and I was like, was she on Last? I think she is. I think she was on Last Comic Standing. So lots of people in this, and it's fine. I don't have any problems with this movie. It's just, I don't think it's a great movie. It's a weird movie for Mother's Day. Come spend Mother's Day and remind your mom she's next to death with Nonas. Remind her mom where she's headed. I think previously on Mother's Day we've had a hard time reading what films should come out on Mother's Day, which is why for years they used to re-release the film Mother's Day, even though it wasn't really well received critically, or it wasn't like a massive box office success, but it was actually getting like theatrically released every year on Mother's Day because people didn't know what to take their moms to on Mother's Day. And there was a film called Mother's Day. So laugh at that film all you want, but it made out of at the end of the day, because what else? Sometimes there isn't something. Sometimes it's on a streaming service. It's like, do you subscribe to? Are you going to subscribe to the stream? What did you? You're not going to take Mama? You're just going to sit at home and Netflix and chill? Like, so there still is that aspect. I feel like it's definitely a weekend. I'm doing this after the fact because I didn't care. And I really just didn't think that the plot of this was like, I was like, is this a really Mother's Day movie? This doesn't scream Mother's Day to me. But when you see sort of like the dearth of entertainment surrounding Mother's Day, you're like, I guess this is Mother's Day, depressingly. So, yeah, I guess it means stop taking moms to movies on Mother's Day and find something else to do with your time. Don't take the easy road out, which is like dinner and a movie. Figure something else out to do. So, but, the cast would bring some mothers in. They'd like to see people like Susan Sarandon and Lorraine Bracco. But also, I'd like to see those ladies still being offered roles of consequence. Eh, Susan Sarandon keeps getting offered roles where I'm just like, what are we doing to your career? And honestly, all these ladies, we have Oscar and Emmy nominees here, and they deserve better than this. We have so many limited series all the time. Every 5 seconds, something new has premiered on television. There's a new show with a new cast. And you're telling me that there aren't shows where we can put Susan Sarandon, Lorraine Bracco, Talia Shire, Joanna Mateo, like these people in them? There aren't roles that they can be in so that they're not just doing. I feel like the scripts they get offered, it must be so depressing to be some of these actresses nowadays because they're like of a certain age, and there's only a place in Hollywood for like a few women of a certain age to actually flourish, and everybody else has to play these sorts of roles in films that aren't written well, are low budget, kind of things. This one tends to sort of make out fine. It's not quite like Summer Camp or Book Club 2, The Revenge. Uh, but I mean, there are films like that, though. There are films that just feel like um, we've just summoned classic actors together, and magic should happen, but the script isn't any good, and the direction is lackluster, and there's nothing here to support them. So it's like it's just all resting on the actors to make magic out of nothing. Luckily here, these actresses make magic out of whatever they're given, which is kind of nice because the film is about making something in a kitchen. And I thought the Nonas were more interesting than whatever Vince Vaughn was doing. And I actually like Vince Vaughn. I just thought he was such an odd choice for this movie. Um, it doesn't require him to do any of his normal stuff. It's like he's trying to tone down and walk it back. So it's not his usual brand of humor. So if you're somebody who bristles at Vince Vaughn, generally, this isn't his usual thing. But if you're somebody who likes Vince Vaughn's thing, then he's not doing it. So he's made himself more accessible. But I think there are people who already just have an opinion of his brand of humor. It's not here. That's what I'd say. It's if you're afraid of watching this movie, this is PG. He doesn't know what to do in a PG movie. He has walked it back a lot. His isms are dialed way back because he can't make them there can't be a double entendre at the end. It can't mean anything else. It just has to be what it is. It has to lay flat at the end. So he ends up kind of slow walking through the film, playing somebody who's, serious about this restaurant, who's clearly at least coming out of some level of depression and working that out. It's more of an actual performance from him, which is unusual for somebody who relies on a certain beat. I've heard that he also has, at least in his heyday, he was one of the people that had a specific writer who would come into films that he did and have the script punched up for him. There are actors who are so specific in their style that it's like you wrote a movie, great, now you wrote a movie for Vince Vaughn, so this guy who is acutely aware of Vince Vaughn's style of humor is going to come in, take a look at the script, and adjust the lines of the character Vince Vaughn is going to play covertly in a non-credited role, which does happen, depending on the actor or actress, I guess. So, most often with comedians in comedy, when it's like you're trying to sell their brand of comedy, and it's like, well, he's going to either improv the whole thing, or we can go ahead and try to make it work. So I don't think that happened here. I think Vince Vaughn just is trying to turn off the light switch and navigate Nonas. I wish I could be more enthusiastic about this movie because I want these ladies to work more, and I'm happy that they're in a movie that isn't awful, and is watchable. But yeah, I didn't love this movie, but it was worth one time. That's the thing, is that there are plenty of movies that are good for a one-time watch. Nona's is one of them. I'm going to give Nona's a B minus. I think it's perfectly fine for a one-time watch, and the redeemable, maybe a little bit why it's a B minus, not a C plus, would be I really did enjoy the ladies of Nona's. I thought they were nice. It was nice seeing them all again. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see you guys on the other side.